Lecture 25 is P6MN. So we've just been through the unique case of adding mirror planes with a threefold axis into a primitive lattice. And the result was that you could see that a particular set of point groups being added and a lattice does not necessarily produce a unique space group. It produces a unique space group, but you can get a couple of unique ones depending on how you place them inside the lattice. And so here, what we're going to see is that the 6mm point group actually, in a way, ends up including both the P31M and the P3M1 into it. It's actually a little bit difficult to see because of this fact that it's spatially different. So we might as well just jump right into it, and you'll see by putting in a six-fold point groups. So if you recall our hexagonal lattice, and we put in our six-fold rotation point groups here, and it's not just that though. We had MM, and if you recalled from our theorem, we had mirror planes, but then we started off, remember, with the six-fold mirror planes, but then with the theorem that we had, you automatically induced the other set of sigmas. And so we had two kinds of mirror planes. Let me draw those in. We had the first set, which correspond to essentially the what we were calling in the 3M the edge case, or parallel to the standard cell edges. Make sure I got all those in. And you recall from the P6 with the other symmetry elements in here. Remember, we have the bisectors, because these are also A over pi. We get the lenses there, including one in the middle, of course. And then we have the threefold axes. If I'm drawing them well, I'm anticipating what's going to happen here, so I'm trying to line up things, but I'll probably fail miserably. Now remember that the P6 had these other planes that were created. Which were the other mirror planes of P6. And so there's our two kinds, and we're separated by, if you recall, 30 degrees. We had two kinds of mirror planes like that. And now to be complete, I have to draw those in at each region here. The same thing here. This should be going through those and be straight up, which they're not. Sorry about my imperfections here, which I'm sure only cause confusion. here. There we go. So each sixfold axis now has a 30-degree separation. Now immediately, guess what you see? We have sort of the signature of the P3M1 here, right? And then you see we have the signature at each one of these, although it's harder to see because it's covered with so many mirror planes, but we have the ones that go along the edge, and that is sort of the signature of the P31M. So in a way, because of the two kinds of mirror planes, remember there was the original set induced by the sixfold symmetry itself, rotation, but then we showed that when you have motifs, you're going to get these other, and that came from our theorem as well, which showed that if you have two, if we had a rotation of 60 degrees with a mirror plane, that you would get a rotation, a new set of mirror planes at 30 degrees, right? And so what that automatically does is induce both kinds of the three folds that we had in this lattice. And of course, the last thing that we can do by inspection with our other theorem now is that the glide planes are, anytime you see parallel mirror planes, you're going to get a glide plane. So we know that there's one coming through here, for example, and of course that repeats going through these two fold axes here. One coming down here. And then we have, it's going the other direction, if I can see this. We have the ones coming down in between the green mirror planes again. I'm sure there's another one here. Finally, there should be one through the red planes as well. So if I look at this being parallel to this, we probably should have also one coming through here. And of course, that means that we should have one here. If I did that right, we should have one here. And are there any other ones that I have missed? Let's see, something like, I don't know about the spacing, but there'll be something out here parallel to this one, right? Parallel, and some other one out here like that. And let's see, these two parallel ones here means that there will be one going through the middle here. And I think that gives you a pretty good idea of the complexity of P6MM, generated from taking the taking the 6MM point group, dropping it into the lattice points. We already have our other symmetry elements that we got from P6, but with mirror planes present, we could see that these blue glide planes must exist also in the space group.